The minority leader on the floor of Parliament questioned the deployment of relief items to Jamaica, stating that there are some domestic challenges that should have been first prioritized. He then demanded urgent answers from the foreign minister on the details of Ghana's mission in Jamaica.
I think that the major policy decision like this must receive at least the blessings of Parliament. It cannot be that the members of Parliament would have to be reading this in the news. And when we have ministers who are first to come and signal us, we have serious disasters. The recent flooding in the country, we know that people have been calling for relief. NADMO has been telling us that they don't have stock. Where you do not have enough to feed your own at home, doing international charity will require a curious concern.
Ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, John Ntimfodjo, also described the deployment of troops to Benin as a misguided decision.
When they sought to buy helicopters, they had to consult Parliament. So how come when you want to deploy troops to Benin, you do not consult Parliament? When you want to deploy troops to Jamaica, you do not consult Parliament. What are they hiding within this process? Sending troops to Benin, we need to understand which protocols under which this deployment is going to be undertaken, how many troops are going to be sent, how long this operation is going to be undertaken, and what is the cost to the state. They are misplaced priority, and we cannot watch on unconcerned for the taxpayers' money to be misused in very misguided deployments.
Now, he says charity begins at home, and so he wants government to channel security effort into dealing with the Boko, Beniyiri, and Galamsey issues.
Rather chose to show force in Accra, where people are going about their peaceful endeavors. You rather chose to show force in front of Supreme Court and Accra High Court. Look at the situation in Boko. Even after the Otumfuo mediation, things are still not calmed. And we are still urgent calm in Boko. If you want to show force, we have Galamsey sites, endemic Galamsey sites that in broad daylight are chasing military NIMOS. They are chasing them, they are running after their lives. If you want to show force and to show the might of your security.
Now, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, in response to the concerns of the minority, states that the country has historically provided aid to countries that require such assistance. He explains that the decision is based on humanitarian grounds, emphasizing no wrongdoing.
Honorable members of this august House, these enhanced and consequential humanitarian gestures were deliberate expressions of Ghana's diplomatic identity and values. In a global environment marked by increasing humanitarian needs and diminishing international attention, Ghana's actions carry significant moral and diplomatic weight. They signal Ghana's refusal to be indifferent to suffering and its determination to remain a responsible and compassionate actor on the international stage. Such actions also serve to strengthen our bilateral relations, reinforce mutual trust, and enhance Ghana's standing within multilateral fora. By aligning humanitarian assistance with diplomatic engagement, Ghana demonstrates its foreign policy is both principled and pragmatic. It's rooted in values of empathy, solidarity, brotherhood, and compassion, while being attentive to global realities. Right Honourable Speaker, as humanitarian crises continue to challenge the international community, Ghana remains resolute in its commitment to act where it can to make a meaningful difference. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will continue to work towards strengthening Ghana's capacity for timely humanitarian response, deepening partnerships with international and regional actors, and ensuring that solidarity remains a defining feature of our foreign policy.
Also, in the last few hours on TV3's New Day, Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has defended Ghana's deployment of military troops to assist Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa. He said the troops are not being sent for combat, but for humanitarian reconstruction, responding directly to a request from the Jamaican government.
That they take that position and seek to question Ghana's compassion, Ghana's love, Ghana's kindness in times of crisis. When there is a humanitarian crisis, Ghana should be one of those countries able to assist. And we have always done that. Our foreign policy has been rooted in empathy, in humanity, in compassion. That is why when Guinea, in 1958, declared independence from France, and the French sought to punish them, took everything away from Guinea, the Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah set the tone for us. So, government after government, empathy, compassion, caring, and positioning ourselves as a country that takes responsibility, as a country that doesn't look the other way. And as I said yesterday, our foreign policy will be defined not by how much we can take from others, but by how much we can share with others. We have always been there for our people. We care for Ghanaians. But you see, in our foreign policy, we have always placed the care for others, the compassion for others, at the heart of our foreign policy. Because that is when you also face some difficulty, people will reach out to you. That is also when it comes to respect for countries, dignity for countries, we will take our rightful place in the Committee of Nations. And so to say that it is not right, I mean, it is so un-Ghanaian. Do you know the Rwandans have written to the Foreign Ministry that they want to come to Ghana and establish a monument? In the next few days, are going to start the erection of a monument here at Bema Camp. And they want it to be an eternal and enduring appreciation. We are not deploying troops for combat. They need to get it. These are troops going on a humanitarian mission. So for Jamaica, they are going for reconstruction of the country. Our 48th Engineers Regiment celebrated the world over. They have top engineers there. They are going to help with the reconstruction, moving away rubble, rebuilding houses, reconnecting water, electricity, building amenities, and helping to bring back life and in terms of livelihoods, bring back livelihoods and restore the nation of Jamaica.
Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. Now, the Koforidua High Court has dismissed the election petition filed against the Suhu Member of Parliament Frank Asiedu Bekwai and some others. The High Court also awarded a cost of 200,000 cedis against the petitioners following the declaration of the 2024 December elections, parliamentary. To be specific, the petitioners had asked the court to invalidate the outcome of the Suhum constituency results, citing alleged electoral infractions.
The Honorable High Court of Koforidua today and this morning dismissed the election petition filed against the Honorable Member of Parliament for Suhum constituency. The court dismissed the petition filed by the petitioners on the basis of it not having any case and legs to stand on. The court was also clear in its mind that the court examination that which was undertaken by the very respective lawyer Gary Makuma for his legal team, gravely exposed the petitioner's lack of evidence in the petition that they filed before the High Court. Again, the petitioners, the respondents, also in acknowledgement of the ruling, also asked for cost and damages for the time wasted throughout the 1 year of the trial. Even though the petitioners asked for 50,000 out of the 500,000, the court, in its wisdom, granted 200,000 cost and damages to the respondent. We believe that this brings finality to this tortuous journey, which right from day one, lawyers for the Honorable Frank were clear that the petition was frivolous, had no legs to stand on, and pathetic right from the scratch.
Connect with Regional Secretary of the party, Tony Osei, for more on this. Ms. Osei, I appreciate you joining us. This will come as good news for you. What reasons have you provided in terms of what reasons did the judge provide in arriving at this decision?
Good afternoon to you and your listeners. And let me say, indeed, it's a good news for us as a party in the region. If you could recall, immediately after the 2024 general election, there were 4 seats in contention from the side of the NDC in the region, namely Frontier North, Suhum, Akwatia, and Nsawama Adwejiri. It led to a bit of scuffle in the process of coalition at the constituency center because of the disruptive nature of the process from the side of the then opposition New Patriotic Party, NDC. We couldn't do the coalition at the constituency center. So we moved to the Electoral Commission designated coalition center at the regional level. We couldn't. Then we have to move the whole process to Stesano, where we were able to collate all the 4 constituencies in contention in the region. From the side of the party, we knew that we have won the seat clearly, but you don't know what happened. The NDC were challenging the results. So in specific to Suhum, if you could recall, when you put all the figures together and the areas that they were challenging, if you even give all of them out to the NDC candidate and our own former MP, Obafo Kujasanti, it would be immaterial to even declare them a winner. So we did not know the basis on which they were challenging the results. But as a saying goes, he who alleges must prove. So they petitioned the Kufuria High Court for the process, and we know the High Court has the jurisdiction to look into electoral issues and provide a ruling on it. So the case has been dragging and lingering on from the time 7 December after the election. After 21 days, if you don't file any petition, it makes it null and void. You cannot go again to file the petition. So it has been traveling from January till now, and finally the court has been able to rule on the matter since they don't have any evidence to prove that there was an infraction or a rigging or a stolen verdict on behalf of the party and the Electoral Commission to elect to declare Honorable Frank Dudoke as a winner. So the court has given a ruling, and we are happy for that. But this will also serve as a clarion call to anybody who wants to file an election petition against any form of election in the country, that you cannot just on the voice of a hearsay go to court with any frivolous petition to challenge the results to waste the court and everybody's time. So I think the decision to award 200,000 against the petitioners is also in a good call.
For you in the constituency and in the region, this comes as some great news for you, and you've spoken to the cost awarded and all of that. Where does this take you from here, considering that this has been done away with?
I think there are a few issues in the constituency that we have to address. So far as the party fund is concerned, we have our own MP contesting against the party elected candidate to run for the 2024 election. So we'll just speak to all parties in the constituency to come on board since the court has made a determination on the case. Then moving forward, we'll find a lasting solution to the issue that brought about the independence thing in the constituency.
Going into those conversations, you're yet to engage the former candidate as well, the former MP who was contesting against Protozwa in this election, which resulted in the close nature of the contest and this legal dispute as well.
Exactly. Because we have a party to build, We will engage everybody in the matters in the constituency, and we'll move forward from there.
Outside of the constituency, though, what's the plan for the region as well? Because in terms of the outlook for the region in the 2024 elections, many will say the Eastern region did not pull its weight as much as it has for the NPP.
You know, this is not specific to the region. If you could see across the country, there was a low turnout on the part of the party across all the 16 regions. Even Asante region didn't pull as they were supposed to pull. They pull in every election. So like I said, as a party, we have to go back to the drawing table and re-strategize and move forward. So we are still in the process. But you know, because we have the presidential election just on the 31st of January, we have to cross that headline before we come to the rebuilding of the party. After the flag bearer has been elected, we will go back to the party because he has 2 years, 11 months to the main election in 2028 to build all bridges, then we'll take it from there.
Right then. I appreciate you speaking to us this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
That's the secretary of the NPP in the Eastern region, helping us come to terms with a bit more in terms of what the party's position is to what is a victory for them. But we can bring you some more stories this afternoon as well.
Now, some members of the minority caucus have expressed fear government could likely abandon the old Accra-Kumasi highway for the new expressway project. Kojo Oponkroma observed that since the revenue projections have not been met yet, there is that likelihood to channel all efforts into the new expressway. The roads minister denied any such assertions.
Project will be continued, and I took time to explain to colleagues. The new alignment is an alternative to the existing alignment. The ECOWAS and the AU protocols say that when you build an expressway, you are allowed to charge a certain level of toll to recover the cost. But you must have an alternative that if somebody wants to go to Kumasi in 6 hours, he will also have an alternative to go to Kumasi in 6 hours. Those who want to go in 2 hours should also have the alternative. This is all it is about, Mr. Speaker. And I agree with my colleague. There's no road in Ghana that is more important than the road between Accra and Kumasi. And indeed, we are doing something that we'll be proud of maybe in 5 years.
This project is GOG funded through GIF, and I think it's a beautiful framework so that the money is made available to GIF subcontracts, and GIF can take the money back as a commercial project. But it is GOG still. And the old Accra-Kumasi highway, if I'm correct, is also GOG. What it means is that the one that we are struggling to pay is about 65 to 70% complete, but there are difficulties in servicing the payment. It's going to be drawing from the same pot that this supposed 30 billion plus 13 billion, which we are told is ring-fenced, are also drawing from. Mr. Speaker, I think it is important that while pursuing this new one, the old road is not left to hang. We are told that it's only missing a number of things, including lighting and other things, and of course about 40% or 35% of work to complete. If they are both going to draw from the same source, especially now that the revenues haven't hit the projections, let's be careful so that we don't have both projects hanging.
Well, government has been urged to increase investment in the agricultural sector to boost food production and strengthen national food security. The call by the Crops Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research follows observation that many Ghanaian farmers continue to face serious challenges in accessing affordable credit and other essential farming resources.
Access to credit facilities remain a major obstacle for many farmers across the country. According to scientists at the Crops Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, this challenge is preventing farmers from expanding their farms and improving productivity. Speaking at a fertilizer field trial exercise involving farmers, the director of the Crops Research Institute, Professor Maxwell Darko Asante, appealed to government to make agricultural loans more accessible by introducing flexible repayment terms and reducing high interest rates.
One of the biggest issues in farming in Ghana is cost of credit. The cost of credit is so high. And that is why banks like ADB and things were set up. But it doesn't appear to be working so much well for the farmers. Government should bring in interventions where those in farming will get very low interest rate, because that's what happens all around the world. There's a social part of farming. Without it, we cannot be fed as a people.
The institute also called for increased government support in land acquisition and greater investment in irrigation schemes, particularly in the face of changing weather patterns and erratic rainfall.
You can take a valley, and government will develop that whole valley, huge acreages. Then you can bring in the farmers as tenants to now work in it. It will make a lot of difference. So those investment in big ticket items like land development and things like cost of credit and things, it can really help.
With the right policies and sustained support systems in place, crop scientists believe Ghana's agriculture sector can play a more significant role in transforming the economy and ensuring food security.
You're still live here on News Central. We're going for our very first break here on the bulletin. When we return, we have a bit more stories for you, so please do stay tuned in.
Welcome back. It's still News Central here on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano. Now let's talk about security ahead and during the Christmas holidays. This afternoon, alarmed by what he describes as a disturbing downward trend in the quality and success rate of police investigations, Inspector General of Police Christian Tete Yohuno has sounded a strong warning to crime officers, insisting that weak investigative work is steadily eroding public confidence in the Ghana Police Service and emboldening criminal activities. He says the trend is unacceptable and must be reversed through renewed accountability, modern investigative approaches, and stronger leadership by crime officers, whose role, he stressed, is pivotal in restoring the credibility and effectiveness of police investigations. Crosby Annan is joining us from that news conference where the IGP made those remarks with a bit more. Crosby, what else has the IGP been saying?
Right, Dominic, so like you rightly said, this is a conference that is geared towards solving the current downward trend of police investigations and the role of crime officers mainly. And then for the IGP says that it is disturbing that this is happening. And as the head of the Ghana Police Service, he is committed to reversing the trend and enhancing the investigative capabilities of the officers. He says that crime statistics are painting a concerning picture in the decline and quality and success rates of investigations, and they undermine public trust and emboldening criminals. The trend is unacceptable, he says, and all of them should take collective responsibility to reverse it. He's putting emphasis on the role of crime officers. He says that they are pivotal to overturn this, to turn the tide. They must take responsibility for the quality of investigations conducted under the authority. Poor performance of investigators must be investigated. Also, there are key challenges that these officers face, and that there's a need to overcome them. He is advising the officers, crime officers, to seek internal assistance for training, so that they can adapt new methods to stay ahead of criminals. We can take a listen to exactly what the IGP said.
The disturbing downward trend of police investigation. As the head of the Ghana Police Service, I am committed to reversing this trend and enhancing our investigative capabilities. I am convinced that together we can stem the tide of crime and restore public confidence in our service. Our crime statistics paint a concerning picture about the decline in the quality and success rate of investigations, which undermines public trust and emboldens criminals. This trend is unacceptable, and we must take collective responsibility for reversing it. I want to emphasize that excelling in investigative work is not optional, but our core mandate. As crime officers, you are at the forefront of this battle. Your role is pivotal in turning the tide. To succeed, we need to operate with guiding principles that define our service. Crime officers must take responsibility for the quality of investigations conducted under their authority, by way of supervising investigators in the discharge of their duties. Poor performance and misconduct of investigators must be reported to the administration for further action.
Crosby, did the IGP take the opportunity to announce what operation there is ahead of the holidays?
Well, Kemini, this was strictly on the role of crime officers in reversing the downward trend in the quality and the success rate of investigations. But I'm sure that in the coming days, the IGP, as well as all the other security bodies, will tell us what methods or strategies they are adopting to ensure that the Yuletide season is safe for everybody, Kemini.
I see. However, the Director General of the Police CID also spoke at the conference. What did she say?
She's also emphasizing the need for such training, but she's also particularly congratulating the crime officers on how they are able to stay ahead of the curve, bearing in the challenges that they face, systematic challenges they call them, from high case loads to limited logistics and the evolving criminal method itself, and it is relevant for crime officers to address the challenges that are creating the downward trend. You know that the crime officers, their role in gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and building solid cases worthy of prosecuting is a crucial step in the justice delivery system of the country. So if they are able to benefit from such conferences or these trainings, then we can increase the success rate, and then crime will eventually be reduced.
Very well. We'll leave it here. Crosby and they're joining us from the Regional Police Crime Conference of 2025, where the IGP and the Director General of the Police CID have been speaking about, doing better as officers of the law. We'll now turn attention to other matters. And Moena, what else are we looking at?
Well, it's Judgment Day for the application of stay of execution of lawyers for the embattled Member of Parliament for Kwandai, Matthew Nyindam. That decision has been deferred by the Commercial Division of the High Court to a yet to be determined date. Sources at the Tamale High Court revealed that the deferment of the judgment is because the presiding judge is indisposed. We know on November 24, lawyers for Mr. Nyindam filed an application for stay following the High Court ruling ordering a rerun of the Kwandai Parliamentary election. Let's stay a little longer and then engage my colleague Christopher Markova phone. Chris, let's go back to the genesis and perhaps break it all down for us. And so we know that ruling on the 24th of November was or set in motion a rerun which was initially slated for the 30th of this month. We know the Supreme Court has had a decision on that. But what is this injunction application or this appeal about? Talk to us about it.
Yes, so Morena, we do know that on the 24th of November, when judgment was passed on the Kwandai election petition, which was sent to the Tamale High Court by the NDC parliamentary candidate for the 2024 elections, Daniel Nsala-Wapal, the judge indicated that there should be a rerun on the 30th of this month. The Supreme Court has also ruled, but you remember that very day, the lawyers for the embattled Member of Parliament, Matthew Nyindam, immediately after the ruling, filed an application for stay of execution. And so the ruling for that particular application for stay of execution was supposed to be delivered today. Unfortunately, we got to court today, and the presiding judge indicated that he could not come because he was unwell. So this was communicated to us by the registrar of the court. So today, the ruling could not come on, even though the Matthew Nyindam and his lawyers were in court, together with other MPP supporters.
And you got some reactions from the inability of the judge to be present. How did the persons react, particularly for Mr. Nyindam, who was present in court today?
Yes, so they feel that even if the judge was in court, his ruling won't make any difference because the Supreme Court has spoken, and so they believe that their matter has been well heard. And according to the Bimbila Member of Parliament and former Defense Minister Dominic Nisiwu, they believe that Matthew Nyindam is still the Member of Parliament for Kwandai. Let's take a listen to what Dominic Nisiwu and lawyer for Matthew Nyindam had to say earlier.
All right.
No, not at all. No, not at all. Once somebody is indisposed, we are not God, so we cannot tell what the issues are. We can only leave it to God and faith, and say that for us, we'll be in Accra at the Supreme Court on the 13th to listen to the respondent, what he will say, and for also the plaintiff's lawyer to move the substantive case of social right. So we are fairly comfortable with what we are seeing. We would have wished that he himself is here, but of course, when the person is indisposed, there's basically nothing that you can do. But like he said, we are the judiciary to determine one simple case. And our case is very simple, that the Supreme Court has already determined that the Gazette notification date for Pandai and some other 270 constituencies, making 271, as upheld by the High Court in the Akwatia case and also determined by the Supreme Court, was on the 24th of December. And if that is the case, the respondent, in this case Daniel Nsalawakwa, filed 32 days after the 24th of December. And
the court again proceedings for ruling on the motion for stay of execution today. So we came to court ready for our ruling, or for the judge to tell us what his stand is in the light of the Supreme Court orders. Unfortunately, we are told that the judge is not available today. He's indisposed. And so there's even no substantive adjournment given to us. So as it stands, everything here will be on hold until the final determination of the certiorari application by the Supreme Court. So we don't have any definite date for which we will return here for the ruling on the stay of execution to be given. In any case, once the highest court has already arrested the elections on the 30th of December 2025, this court cannot decide.
Chris, just briefly on the NDC, they were not present in court. What next in terms of the development within the constituency? Well, it does appear we still do not have Christopher Marco on the telephone line, but we'll move on to some other matters because the Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, has issued a strong warning to employers who abuse the rights of workers, cautioning them to desist or face legal sanctions. He gave the warning during a tour of selected factories within the Accra industrial area.
The minister's first port of call was Promasidor Company Limited, where he engaged management and staff of the company. The visit was aimed at assessing sanitation conditions, promoting decent work standards, and ensuring the protection of workers' rights. The tour also formed part of efforts by government to identify ways to support industries in line with the proposed 24-hour economy policy. The sector minister later visited Fan Milk Limited, where he inspected working conditions, workplace safety measures, and overall welfare of workers. After the tour, Dr. Rashid Pelpo underscored the importance of effective safety mechanisms within the work environment to protect employees.
Factories that we have gone to see, how safe it is working there, the safety conditions there, the comfort of workers according to the labor law, and how much we can expect still out of them. What jobs are there? How many Ghanaians are engaged? Is there a possibility of engaging more? And what can we do to increase their capacity to engage more?
However, the minister expressed concern over persistent reports of some employers abusing the rights of workers. He stressed that government will not hesitate to apply appropriate sanctions against companies found culpable.
That situation reported to me was bad. Workers are engaged for several months. There's no letter telling them their conditions of service or even whether they are engaged or not. And they have complained to the TUC. The TUC got involved and they are now saying, workers, go home. We don't want you anymore. It can't happen in this country. I'm just sending a signal to them. You can't do that to the workers. Engage them, give them their letters, make sure they are properly engaged. But it is when they insist in doing the wrong that we may have to go to court. We want organizations to work here, to feel comfortable working in Ghana, to stay here and grow.
And we're going for yet another break. When we return, it's exactly a week to Christmas. We're live at the Central Business District where there's a lot of buzz around all of that. We'll get you the details as last-minute shoppers are haggling, traders are calling out festive deals amongst many other things. All of that and more if you stay with us here on News Central.
Welcome back. Now, it's about a week to Christmas, and the Central Business District is already buzzing with lots and lots of energy. Now, shoppers are haggling over prices, traders calling out festive deals, and the sound of the season is filling the air. The mood is electric while it's opening, and the Christmas rush is in full swing. So that's where we are headed now, to the heart of it all. Grace Hamwajiman is standing by live in the Central Business District to soak in the atmosphere and speak to shoppers and traders alike. Gracie, talk to us. What is happening?
Right, Kemini. So we are coming to you from the Central Business District, and it's exactly 7 days away from Christmas, just as you rightly said. Today's week is going to be December 25th, the day where we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And even before the celebration, the Central Business District is bustling with a lot of activity. This place is usually full with a lot of people, but I tell you today, the mammoth crowd you see here, it is just something else. I will engage a few of the traders here on what the mood feels like for them, especially with buying and selling as well as preparations here. So let me just begin with this woman here. Ma, waba live our TV3. So and a week pepe ye di bronya o be den o kromo to same out.
Oh, senti kwa me be kromo no. Ebedu and a week ni me nya daje ma meko convention. And because of that no na me take opportunity say ene due me ba beto tomatoes ne me ni amade ekogu fridge.
Na oba ye no kromo etesen.
Oh, kromo ye do fine. Bibia ko ho ko so pepe.
Every year be a say na udi uja.
Mpacho every year be a say na medimi uja. Because me nchena Christmas and mansa na meditwa no. Say ya na medimi uja.
And na oba enso niama bo to say.
Me ba niama bo ye. Eye. Me ba niama mi. Say na kane no ye to no say no niama na ba form. Nti niama bo ye.
Okay. Who said this woman is really cashing in here, and it looks like the Christmas jollof and the Christmas stews are going to be going on because she has been selling a lot since we came here. Pacha also ni and Kasa Waba TV3 so bronya no and then I watch you di bronya e kromo to say out.
Pacha and then I watch you di bronya. Ye nyema na eto no e season we e Burkina and toast. Na ye nyema no akwaya say 50-20 ekoni ade no ene omo tontare ani ade ntiye de no e bia me sure say 50 next week ikono e na ha e be ye beja nti si ade mata no omo tontare ani mpaboa ne ade nti ya ha no odo kosumu mbate nti se ya 24th ni ade no
nti se moniama no mo atetetu na se ekosen
oh se si ano as at last year no Burkina no do so na ne bo no was soro but they see no those na ko they see o ma dey say adaka no enti they see I was form kakra enti by drew ya drew sa 24 ni ade na ya ye nya enti ho ye den enti obi wa ha e bia wa fa ne na e bia 2 days time on fa enti was said the obesi afa no
enti bro nya so bi be di jollof a intos no mbeto ne sisi ana sound
wa haya mbeto no wa haya.
So you heard it from these women. They have a lot of tomatoes in stock. If you're planning on eating jollof this Christmas season, then this is where you need to come to. Now, Pachama also bronya no akana of chipeni di bronya and ye matter same mau. Extra 1 week per 1 year bronya mini ano.
Ofa na mi lebi mu. One day ni market. Ofa fine.
All right. She tells me that she's also waiting for the Christmas in earnest, and she's going to celebrate it just as she's in high hopes that she's going to celebrate this Christmas well, especially as a trader. Pacho Yefri TV3 yebusa say 1 week per ni yedi bronya kromu etesen emao.
Kromu yedi mai na adom binti. Ebeka say be di bronya no wianya mbe kire ni tomi.
Enti mo amoton in toast no mo hihye be na mo aye for bronya.
Oh, yedi eni atum nyami su say nyami pe mboaye. Nyami pe free su ne mboaye na sisi ade adom bi.
All right, so it is kind of a mixed feeling here in this market from these traders. I want to engage some of the shoppers who have also come to this market to talk to us on what their expectations are. Pacho, aka 1 week per now I see that you're in the market trying to buy. What did you come to buy? How are you preparing for the Christmas?
Oh, I'm here to buy slippers to sell.
Okay, slippers to sell. You are not doing Christmas shopping?
No, please.
Oh, okay. Right. Thank you for talking to us. She is here to buy slippers to sell. She's not doing Christmas shopping. But the mood here, I tell you, is one that is very festive. You see a lot of people coming in. It is just a week away. And so, Mommy, would you like to talk to us on TV3? You see a lot of people coming in and they tell us that we're just a week to Christmas. As the time goes on, or as the days progress, they are going to, it is going to be a lot more of celebration. Back to you in the studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Christmas is here. Season of giving, season of
and
love.
receiving. And receiving.
And receiving as well.
Receiving.
It's very, very important.
Lots of
as well.
good cheer.
Absolutely.
Great things.
Absolutely.
Wonderful gifts.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's our package for you this afternoon. I am Mawina Egbeta.
I am Kamini Amano. We'll be back here same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.